Hello everybody, today I will be talking about the 5 best mods to play with on the Stoneworks Minecraft server. So, without further ado, let's get started. Here are the 5 mods that I'm going to be showcasing in today's video. The first mod in today's video is Xero's minimap and world map. This is technically 2 different mods, but they're meant to be played together. Xero's minimap adds the little minimap you see on my main screen here. Xero's world map is this map that you see here, which of course shows the entire world. I don't have anything explored yet, but I'm working on it. Now, a lot of people already use mini-mods, mostly Xero's mini-mod map, but there are a few rules with mini-mod maps. First things first, you can't be able to see players who are crouched or invisible. Something that must be disabled when you download Xero's minimap is the cave function of the minimap. This is quite simple to do. All you have to do is open your minimap settings, head down to the minimap settings, and then go to block map settings and change cave mode to off. As you can see, my minimap now only displays the surface. Despite the many rules there are for the minimap is still an extremely useful tool, and I highly recommend that everyone plays with one. Again, just make sure you're within the rules. Not only are minimaps useful for seeing what's nearby you, you can also see stuff that's maybe further away. As you can see, I could leave a waypoint at this town and mark what the name of that town is. As you can see, I already have a waypoint to where my home is, and so if I ever wonder how far away from home I am, I simply just have to look. Now, you can disable these if you like, but I prefer to leave them on. Minimap's also useful just to get like an aerial view of your area, which sometimes is just kind of nice to see all of the progress that you've made. The next mod I must recommend is mouse tweaks. It's a small mod, and most of the time you probably don't even notice it, but it's extremely useful because of one feature. Instead of individually clicking each one, you can simply hold down shift, hold down left click, and just slide across. I thought this was part of vanilla, honestly, this feature, but when I found that you need a mod for this, I was quite surprised. This feature is extremely useful and much faster than the individual clicking that you had to do before. Now you can simply move large amounts of items simply by just moving your mouse. Now, I do know that there are some people that believe mouse tweaks gives players a PvP advantage because it allows you to move items around your inventory much faster than you normally could. So when you use this mod, maybe just check the rules to make sure it's still allowed. Now, this next mod I don't see a lot of people talk about, but it's extremely useful when dealing with large amounts of items. The mod is called Chest Tracker. By using the key that you've bound the menu to, you simply click your key, and now you are shown all of the items that you've seen in a barrel. To register items in this menu, you first have to open the barrel that the item's in. So, for example, all these items are now going to show up in this menu. So, if I type in stick and click the stick, it'll highlight the chests that contain the stick. So, as you can see, it shows where the stick is there, and it shows where the sticks are there. Again, this is extremely useful for when you have a lot of items. And on Stoneworks, I'm quite a hoarder, so I like to collect every item because you never know when, I might need something for a build project. Chest Tracker is also extremely useful for if you have a lot of miscellaneous chests, or if you're trying to just find one item. I mean, how often are you really going to be looking for maybe, let's say, a sign? But instead of crafting another sign, you can just click the button, and as you can see, there's no sign here. It's probably back home. Oh, that's my house over there, so that would make sense that there'd be a sign there. Anyways, the fourth mod on our list is one that I use quite often, and it's a very important one called Litematica. Now, the default keybind is M, and this is the Litematica menu. Now, this might seem quite confusing at first, and so there are plenty of good tutorials on YouTube that I recommend you watch maybe a few of, just to get an idea of what this is. Now, I'm not going to explain everything that Litematica can do, because if I were to, this would be like a half an hour long video. But I'm just going to give you what it can do in Stoneworks. Now, by going back to this menu, you can load your saved schematics. For example, this is a shop I plan to build in the future, maybe even next video. But by loading this in, it'll create an outline of, well, what I have to build. Now, before I start building this, I can go into schematic placement, configure, material list, and it'll show me all the materials I need. Now, this feature is a bit finicky and it doesn't always work all the time, but these are accurate numbers, and I've used this a lot to plan out builds or figure out if something's going to be too expensive or what I have to collect. Now, since building takes a long time, there is one feature that you are allowed to use on Stoneworks. It's called Easy Place. Now, you simply go into the hotkeys and search Easy, and it'll show you these two: Easy Place Use Key and Easy Place Toggle. Now, you can set these to whatever you want. These are the two I normally use because I find they work the best. So I click the button to make sure that my Easy Place mode is on, and then I gather some of the materials I plan to use to build with, and simply hold down the key I've set. So for example, I use the key R, and it'll automatically place the block. I'm not clicking the button, I'm just holding down R and running along. As you can see, this can save you tons of time because not only does it place the block, it also will switch to the block for you. Now, this is within the rules of Stoneworks, though again, this might change in the future, so I do recommend making sure that you keep up to date with the rules of Stoneworks to make sure that you don't accidentally break one and end up with a ban. Of course, with Litematica, you can also, reconfigure where you want to place these. You aren't just stuck with this wherever you load it in. You can move these around. But the next mod is actually one that I've been using this entire video. Now, you might have picked up on it, you might not have, but first I have to explain some server mechanics. Now, on most servers like Stoneworks, there's a limit to the render distance. Now, this is for the server to save on storage. And you see, my render distance is turned up all the way to 40, so I should be able to see far away, right? Well, because it's a server, the server has its own render distance, which means that I can't see further than however much the server set at. I believe the server set 6 chunks render distance, so that's as far away as you'll be able to see. So it doesn't matter if I set this all the way to 60, as long as it stays above 6, I'll have the max server render distance. You see, there is a way around this feature though. I've installed a mod called Farsight. Now what Farsight allows you to do is when you load new chunks, so as you see, those chunks just loaded with my shortened render distance, but now if I walk away from those chunks, they stay. Now, I'm not exactly sure how the Farsight mod works, but I do know it does take up a lot of RAM and resources of your computer. So if your computer is kind of a potato, I highly do not recommend this mod. But if your computer is a bit more beefy and can handle the extra weight of having to load in all these extra chunks, then I highly recommend this mod. Because as you can see, I normally wouldn't be able to see that mountain up there. But because of this mod, I can see all the way over there, and it just makes things look so much cooler, if that makes sense. For example, this is what the 6 chunk render distance looks like. Yeah, it's not exactly a lot. Especially with the fog, it's pretty small. You can't really see that far. But, like I said, I can take this up to as high as I want. As long as I have Farsight enabled, I can see far away things, like the mountain over there. Now, I would like to remind you all that these mods are not performance mods. They are quality of life mods. So don't expect to run these mods and get a boost in your FPS or anything like that. These are just mods that I find make Stoneworks a little bit more easier to play, a little bit more fun. And as I've reiterated multiple times, do read the rules occasionally to make sure that whatever mods you're using are still enabled. Also, one last thing. If you don't really know how mods work or kind of fear downloading your own mods, don't worry. I'm currently working on making my own mod pack featuring these mods and more that make the Stoneworks experience just that much better. Though I've never made a mod pack properly before, like a professional polished one, so I'm trying. It's taken a little bit, but I'm getting pretty close, making pretty good progress, and it's going to feature all 5 of these mods and much more. So while it rains on me, I hope you've enjoyed the video and maybe found a new mod to add to your mod list for Stoneworks. And please do let me know if you have any other mods you'd like to recommend. I'm always open to trying out different things and seeing what improves the game and what makes things worse. So with that being said, subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and that's all for today's video. See ya. Oh yeah, by the way, big stuff is being worked on. It's gonna be pretty funny, pretty epic, I hope. Maybe won't, but we'll see.